the snap reaction, right? Mike Budenholzer got fired, which I think was a surprise to a lot of people, general fans in the NBA fandom. And the reaction here was about the reaction that you would expect. Everybody drop everything and go get Mike Budenholzer. He had 2 years, $16 million left on his contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously had Giannis. They won an NBA chip, all those kinds of things. Sam Flannel, you running to the phone and lobbing the phone call?
I would lob the phone call. I mean, the reality is Mike Budenholzer has one of the best recent resumes of any head coach in the NBA. I mean, he was a champion with the Milwaukee Bucks, albeit a lot of that had to do with guys like Giannis and Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. I understand he had a talented team, but I think he also gets penalized a little bit unfairly for the recent playoff flameouts. I mean, the last season they played the entire series against Boston without Chris Middleton. They lost in 7. This season, I understand that there's no real legitimate excuse as a 1 seed to lose to an 8, but in 2 of those games, Giannis Antetokounmpo didn't play, and in one of those games, he went out early and missed most of the game. So I believe in my heart of hearts that if Giannis Antetokounmpo plays, the Milwaukee Bucks are still in the playoffs, and Mike Budenholzer never gets fired.
I don't care about any of that.
Okay.
All right? I don't. And here's, again, the thinking man's fan, as I was called earlier. Do you think for a second that Bucks management, when they say, hey, we're going to move on from Mike Budenholzer and it's a day, do you think for a second, or there's any world where they don't hit up Giannis and be like, Giannis, this is what we're thinking about doing?
I mean, they
do
would
you think that?
No, they would be smart to get their superstar player and their franchise player's approval.
And I'm not saying that they're going to him for permission. I'm not saying that. But you are taking his input. Sure. And you're taking it into account. And just for me, Flannel, having 2 years left on the deal, recently have winning an NBA championship. And Chuck Brewer says, I've seen him get out coached in the playoffs many, many times, hard pass. My reason for the hard pass is because, again, going back to it, and Brandon Katz says Giannis isn't the type of player who would ask for a coach to be fired. Brandon, ride with me for a second here. That's not what I'm saying. If you think for a minute Bucks ownership doesn't get arguably the biggest star in the game, arguably, his input on it, you're crazy. In the Milwaukee market, you're crazy. A Supermax guy, you're crazy. Yes, they're going to get his input. And I'll tell you, here's why it's telling to me. Having recently won a chip, having had all the success they've had, something is up. That's it. And that something is up. I can't tell you what. I'm not in the room. I don't know. All I know is Giannis didn't exactly say, no, man, that's my guy. We're riding with him. Giannis just took the proverbial puff of a cigarette and moved on.
And that's fair.